from the Wiltshire, Gloucestershire Standard on Saturday the 15th of September, 1906. William Taylor, aged 50, a coachman, until recently in the employ of Mr. Smith, of Easton Gray, was brought up at the police court on Tuesday before Mr. T.L. Hinwood, Esquire, and the Mayor, Mr. T. Reed, Esquire, charged with attempting to kill himself by cutting his throat with a knife on the 8th of September.
My name is William Curtis. I am a labourer from Pinckney. On Saturday last, I went to Easton Gray and at about 9:30 stopped at the back door of Taylor's cottage. I called out as usual, "Is anybody around?" The back door was open. A voice answered, saying to come in. It was Taylor's voice, and I went through the passage to the staircase. I found Taylor lying at the foot of the stairs with no coat on, and when I asked what was wrong, he replied, "Nothing in particular." He was sitting in a half-leaning position against the stairs, and I noticed that blood was coming from his throat and that he had a knife in his hand. I took the knife from him and ran out for assistance.
Inside the courtroom, a metal-handled pocket knife with a built-in corkscrew was produced.
This is the knife that I took from Taylor. I asked my mate, who was outside, to go and fetch Mrs. Taylor at once. Then I returned into the lodge and tied a towel around Taylor's neck. His wife then came in. Mr. Taylor was conscious and could speak all the time, and I left him in the charge of his wife and went for Dr. Fletcher. Afterwards, I helped carry Mr. Taylor upstairs and then went with him to the Malmesbury hospital. I have known Taylor all my life. I have never known him depressed till lately. About 7 weeks ago, he was discharged from his master's employ, and this appears to have distressed him.
My name is Dr. James Robinson Fletcher of Sheston. I was called by the last witness to one of the lodges on Mr. Graham Smith's estate at Easton Gray. I found Taylor lying in a recumbent position near the foot of the stairs with his head against the wall. He had no coat or collar on, but there was a towel round his neck and his throat was blood-stained. His general appearance was pallid. I asked him what was the matter, and his reply was, "Nothing." I ordered him to be carried upstairs, and having removed the towel, I found a wound extending about 2.5 inches on the left side of the neck in an oblique direction, skin deep. The wound was self-inflicted, and there were no signs of a struggle. I stitched up the wound and ordered Taylor's removal to the Malmesbury Cottage Hospital for observation. I had attended him for gout several months previously and always found him of a jovial disposition.
My name is Police Sergeant Maidment from Sheston. I visited the Malmesbury Hospital on the Monday and found Taylor in the charge of Police Constable Knight. I cautioned him and charged him with attempting to commit suicide on the previous Saturday at Easton Gray. He acknowledged that was what he had done.
The chairman, having referred to the serious nature of the offence, for which the prisoner now expressed his sorrow, said they could not deal with the case, and the prisoner would be committed for trial at the quarter sessions. If he would promise to return home to his wife, and not behave in this manner again, the bench would allow bail, himself in £20 and one surety of £20. Having given the promise of good behaviour, Mr. C. Rich of Easton Gray stood surety. The prisoner was detained until Mr. Rich put in an appearance.